Okay, I've jumped back to problem number 4. We're going to look at 4 and 5. They're talking about sales tax. So I'm going to jump over to the study card that I have provided for you on Canvas. It says that this is the formula that you need to keep in mind when you're dealing with sales tax and discounts. Sales tax is going to be something that's added to your total bill, and whereas discounts will be something that subtracts or makes your final bill smaller. But the formula is going to be the same. So this is the general, like if you took away the context of the problem and you just did a straight percent problem, this would be how it was worded. They're going to give you some number, like 8 is 10% of 100 or 80 or something like that. So that they will give you everywhere there's a letter right here will be a number where they talk about. The thing that's important, though, is that you understand that the word is where we put the equal sign, and the word of tells us to multiply. So in the problems that deal with sales tax right here, the sales tax is the A. So my sales tax is, and then whatever your sales tax rate is, that will have to be given or should be given to you. Then the word of means multiply, and then the total cost of the item would be in the place of B. So on problem number 4, to find the sales tax, we multiply the tax rate and the cost of the item. That's what that study card told us to do. And then number 5, Santa had to lay off 25% of his reindeer because of bad economy, so only 7 reindeer remained. We've got to determine if that's true or false. So we're going to use that formula. A equals the percent times, I don't even remember what it said. A equals percent times B. Yeah. A equals percent times B. So that's the formula. And we've got to go deal with this particular problem. We've got Santa. Oh, for Pete's sake. Here we go. Nope. There we go. Santa had to lay off 25% of his reindeer because of a bad economy. So 7 reindeer remained. Only 7 reindeer remained. So Santa started off with 8 reindeer. And they said he laid off 25%. And they said there's only 7 left. So if there's only 7 left, that means that he had to cut one. One was cut from the team. So we need to be able to figure out what numbers go here. This B right here is always your original amount, whatever you started off with. So in this problem, 8 is going to be the number that goes in the place of B. They told us that 25% is how many he had to lay off. So this will be 25%. And they're telling us that that resulted in him having to cut 1 from the team. And they want to know if this is a true or false statement. True or false. So we have some math that we can do over here. You can't do any math with this 25%. Anytime there's a percent symbol there, that is your clue that you have to change that to either a decimal or a fraction, because percent is just a number that we use to describe something or to talk about something. It is not what we call a working number. So this 25% needs to be changed into a decimal. We learned in the other problems that we just moved the decimal 2 places to the left. And then we're going to grab a calculator, and the calculator is going to do 0.25 times 8. And the calculator tells me that that answer is 2. So we end up with a statement that says 1 is equal to 2, which is false. So they should not have laid off one reindeer. If you're truly going to cut 25% of 8, you're going to have to fire 2 of the reindeer. So it says the statement is false. To make the statement true, change 25 to 10. That could be an option to change the 25% to 10%. But let's see if we can figure out. We started off with 8, we cut 2. That means we should have 6 left. So if we can find a statement that says change the 7 to a 6, that's going to be the one that I'm going to pick based on the work that I've already done. Number 15 is not a contextual situation. It is just a straight up problem. They want us to use the formula that they gave us, A equals P times B, to figure out the answer to this question. What is 5% of 400? So here, the what is the A, is the equal sign, there's your percentage, 5%, that's your P, and then of is your times, and then 400. So again, in order to work this problem, all we're going to have to do is multiply this. However, we've got to change that 5% to a decimal or a fraction. Doesn't matter which one, whatever you're more comfortable with. But this is 5% is not a working number. It's just a description. So we have to change that to a working number. And I'm going to move the decimal 2 places. Here's the decimal right here. Move it 1 place right there. Move it a 2nd place. Put it right there. We need a 0 for a placeholder. Times 400. So 0.05 times 400. 0.05 times 400. And you get 20. Okay, on question 17, they were using the same formula. They've just changed what we're finding right here. 26%, that's always going to be your P. The percentage is always going to be your P. 26% of, we don't know what the B is, so we're going to leave B in the formula and we'll solve for B. So 26 is going to go in the place of P. We're going to leave B where it is. That means that the is 54.6, that goes where A is. So 54.6, and then 26% goes right there of. Okay, first thing we need to do is change that percent to a decimal. So 54.6 equals 0.26. Here's the decimal right here. Move it 2 places to the right. Times B. This is an algebra problem. We have to solve for this unknown. We solve for unknowns by undoing the operation that it tells us to do. That of right there means times. But we don't have anything to multiply. So how do we undo multiplication to get this B by itself? What operation undoes multiplication? Division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 0.26. If we have a B times 0.26 and then we divide B by 0.26, the 0.26's divide out, leaving me with 1b, which is exactly what I wanted, a solved for variable. And now we're going to do on the calculator 54.6 divided by 0.26, and that will give me the value of my b. 54.6 divided by 0.26, and that means b is 210. So 210 is the answer to this problem. Okay, question 18 is talking about buying a car. You have to pay tax on your purchases, so we use A equals P times B, where B is the cost of the car, P is your percentage rate, and we're going to find the amount of tax. It says how much tax is paid. We're going to find that by doing this multiplication. You can't multiply using the percentage, so you do have to change that. Here's the decimal right here. We're going to move it over 2 places, so it becomes 0.04 times $23,100. I've already done that on the calculator. There it is, 0.04 times 23,000. So my amount of tax is 924. 924. So that's going to be the first answer that I type in, 924. And then the second question says, what was the total amount that you paid for the car? So you take this $23,100, you add 924, and you'll get the total cost of the car. So add to that whoops, let me go back. Now add that to 924 plus 23,100, and there's the total cost of the car, $24,024.